very short break indeed it was. And here we go. Let's start off on Ray. Ray is definitely one of the bigger names in the US scene. So I'd be very surprised if someone I've never heard of before was able to knock Ray off of his mighty pedestal. As Ray right now has a decent start. He doesn't have the lightning gun, and this might be problematic on this potentially ensuing fight at the red. However, Mellow's going to opt for long-range damage with the rockets. Doesn't really go to plan though. And still, I would really like for... Oh my god, this rocket is fantastic from Ray. Mellow with some good damage in return, but not enough. And there finally is the lightning gun for Ray. I think he really should have picked that up a lot sooner before the red, but either way, there it is, the drop onto that red, and look at the close range shotgun work, even stealing away that red armor, completely taking Ray off guard there, and that's going to be very problematic leading into the situations following, as Ray now has a stack that's very vulnerable to attacks. Mellow can put on the aggression, that's exactly what he's doing. 50 health left, but the rockets will save Ray, and that is quite crucial. What can he do from here? I love the pressure here. Just piecing in just enough to get that pressure. And Ray could have even afforded to get the 25 there before picking up the Mega, but I guess he wanted to be fast onto the yellow, which definitely yielded a lot of damage there. So that's going to help him out massively. He needs to try to challenge for the red though. Here it is. Going to make his way across. He gets the 50. In come the grenades. And there's Mellow from a distance. Mellow does not want any part of this. Now, Mellow's looking in a spot of bother because, well, it's not even really a spot of bother, it's a huge zone of bother of some kind, because he can't really do anything at the moment. He can, I mean, he tried to go for the Mega, but it's his chances to get it are so extremely limited and low. And Ray does pick that one up, so he basically gave a frag there for free. And what he did had no implication on, like, the death was meaningless basically. It's a free frag basically. I'll leave it at that. So Ray's now 3-0, and Mellow's in a position where he has to do what Cypher was doing. He has to read Ray's attack avenues perfectly to avoid them, and he has to try to build up. Ray's in the kind of stack, although he's losing a lot of stack for execution in this fight, but he had the, oh my god, Mellow doing a lot of damage here. Ray should not have let this happen. Looking very bad for him. And all of a sudden, he's not going to win this Mega. So I guess I won't talk about the point I was going to make, as it was no longer relevant. But Ray should not have let that much damage happen to himself. The execution needs to step up. And Ray is going to make, hopefully, a play towards the red. He can just get straight in there if he really wants to. We're going to go for this yellow first. And here it is, he goes straight in there. Where's Mellow going to be? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. More armor going towards Ray. So, okay, his next objective is Mega. So we're thinking about Mega. There it is. He has the time now. He didn't get it, but he has the item time. That's going to help him. He doesn't necessarily want to stick around for too long for these rail versus rail engagements. Mellow's getting the better of him. Instead, locking down the choke points, like locking this area down, is more important. And there is the red spawning. Gonna go to Ray once again, but Mellow's damage output is being very strong in this game, despite Ray having a frag advantage. Ray should have the time on the Mega, so all he needs to worry about now is position, and it has to adjust his position constantly from where he thinks Mellow will attack him from. Should Mellow attack him? And it looks like that's not the case. And back to red he goes. And could get a good rail there. Beautiful stuff there from Ray. And even gets the frag as well. So this, okay, now what I was going to talk about before becomes slightly more relevant. So Mellow has to, assuming that Ray doesn't take too much damage here, Mellow has to avoid him constantly and not be obsessed about pressure damage too heavily. It's more about building up a stack and keeping your opponent guessing. That's kind of what the pressure will be for, is to win position in various spots, to keep your opponent guessing as to where you're going to be and to maintain your stack. Because there are going to be rails that you shoot that will connect with Ray, for example. But if Ray's guaranteed every red armor and like one or two yellows every cycle, that rail doesn't do anything. So what actually ends up happening is you're actually exposing yourself to hit a rail that has no implication in the future. What does have an implication in the future is you getting a stack. So it's like one of the things you have to weigh up when your opponent gets too stacked. So that's something to think about. But Ray right there took a lot of damage once again. Mellow always good for the damage, it seems. Let's switch back to Mellow. As I was making the discussion, look at that. That was absolutely perfect from Mellow, showing some great class here. And he's going to pick up this Mega as well. So hoping he's going to get some solid timing on that as he picks up this yellow. Speeding his way over to that Mega. And he needs to delay the red a little bit. Delay it. Oh. Okay, the red and the Mega are very close together now. Hopefully it won't play too big a part. Great shooting. I can only imagine that he is a CTF player or something. He's got some, or CA player. He's got some great aim on him. Actually, let's check out some stats. Okay, I shouldn't have mentioned that after looking at the stats, but percentages, who cares? What he's actually achieving is very good with his aim. So screw the percentages, and Mellow's going to miss that shot, but he's got his very good control right now. So Mellow's in a position where he can start fragging, but to frag he's going to catch Ray, and he's going to read his stack well. And 200-200 means he can pretty much bulldog his way into most anything if he's able to execute afterwards. So he's coming to, in the next couple minutes, he's going to hit the time. Okay, hitting rails like that in his position means that he can actually go feel even more aggressive, feel even more liberty to just eat 200 damage just to get through a corridor. Like that's the kind of thing that hitting one of those rails can do for you, especially if you know that all they have is like one yellow. So, you know, that's kind of the kind of estimates you have to make on the stacks, and then go with the decisions. So definitely rails like that are very important. But Ray does win himself a red armor, and Mellow is no longer in a situation of huge stack versus no stack. So he's got to be careful, cannot get too aggressive against Ray. Ray will be feeling a little bit more confident, so Ray should come to him a little bit more than before. I don't think I've seen that rocket jump before, interestingly. But there you go, he does make it. And here he is. Oh my goodness. That was a pretty nice flip rail. Unfortunately switching to the rocket at the wrong time there, and a 3 in a row for Ray. Oh god, it's very stressful to be Mellow's position at the moment. Lots of damage coming out. Mellow finally goes down, and Ray just... It's unfortunate for Mellow. I mean, he was trying to duel there, and he just got caught by rail after rail after rail after rail, and now he's got nothing again to really work with. So Ray abusing a better aim in that situation, but Mellow's actually showing some really good moves in this game. So should he lose this, he shouldn't be disappointed in any sense of the word. So 2 minutes left now for 6 frags. It's a very tall order. Yellow is scooped up by Ray there as he makes his way back over to the red area. A minute and a half left in this. Yeah, it's pretty over. There's really no way to make this now for Mellow. Let's go to Mellow though, see if he can do something nuts. He's got a yellow to his name. That's all he has to work with. It's pretty intimidating just to have only a yellow to work with. And now less than a yellow. 7 points of armor less than a yellow.
1 minute warning.
There's the second one. 1 minute, 50 seconds now to make 6 frags. Soon it will become an impossibility. Okay, it's pretty impossible at this point. So Ray's definitely done it. So let's see if nice rails there from Mellow though. As the final seconds tick away of this match. And I'd like to see definitely Mellow coming back and playing a lot more. Again, I haven't seen him in a... I mean, maybe he's played one before and just hasn't been on stream, or I just haven't caught his name. But if it's the first FACEIT time for Mellow, make sure to encourage him to play more. I think he's definitely got some potential going for himself. So good, always good to see. So there you go, 8-1 looks like the final score between these two, as Ray takes it down somewhat convincingly, although some great resistance from Mellow. It's just a big shame that Ray was able to hit those 4 rails in a row, because it felt like that was a big turning point for Mellow. Unfortunately though, it was not to be. So we'll go to another quick, or should we go to a break or not? I'll ask production. No, okay, no break. We'll jump straight into the next.